Welcome to Purpose Driven Marriage Podcast, where we model kingdom marriage and help you align with God's purpose for your marriage. Welcome again. Today we have a very interesting topic for you, and we've titled it How to make your long distance relationship work. Yes, long distance relationship is a big deal and it's a very common thing in our world today. Yes. We had a long distance relationship and it lasted for about 5 years. So yeah, you're on the right.
Some long distance
marriage
spell as well.
Yeah, so you're on the right podcast today. Before we go or dive into it, my name is Blessing Ekundayo and I've got with me my wonderful husband,
Samuel Ekundayo.
Good. So, yes, we'll be talking from experience, but we'll also be sharing with you very insightful tips to make your long distance relationship work. So if you're in a long distance relationship,
you're thinking about
yeah, or you may just find yourself in one because nobody really prepares to go into a long distance relationship.
Yes,
so feel free to get a pen and paper, and if you're already in one, it's something that you can discuss with your partner and see whether you guys can make this work better.
Yeah.
Right.
There are not many manuals out there in terms of how to navigate a long distance relationship. In fact, some people who are very conservative will tell you to run away from it. It's always better that you see someone you can see face to face, eyeball to eyeball. How can you tell what they are doing, where they are?
Yeah,
those sort of things like that. They are the usual responses for that people normally get when they say, "Oh, I'm about to go into a long distance relationship," and because of that fear, that worry, many people don't even want to get into it at all. Whereas there are potential partners, that could possibly, that
spouses,
they can become married to, but because of the fear, because of the worry, because of the anxiety around, or too many of the movies that many people have seen, and it's almost looking like this thing is not possible, it's not working. But the truth is, hey, you can meet people anywhere. You can meet a potential partner anywhere, and meeting them online or having a long distance relationship, maybe someone you've even met before, and all of a sudden that person travels
for study, for work,
that doesn't mean you should now end the relationship just because the other person wants to travel, unless of course you are feeling convinced to. But the fact that it's a long distance relationship should not be the deal breaker. That's what we are trying to say here, and we have a few tips to share with you on how you can make that long distance relationship work. Our story today is a success story, and we know of very good friends, a few of our very good friends as well, who have the same success story.
So
yours too can be.
It can, and maybe we should just put this out that long distance relationship is not for everybody. If you have trust issues already,
if you have trauma around trust, maybe it's not for you.
But you can make it work. You can make it work, right? So should we let's get into it. Some of the tips we have today, we have about 7 tips we want to share with you that really, really helped us in our own period, that we also believe very strongly that they are like templates for anyone in a long distance relationship or long distance marriage right now, that you can begin to imbibe in your long distance relationship. That if you begin to imbibe them, the way they work for us, of course, taking into consideration some of the things we're going to share, the pitfalls, the pros, the cons, we believe very strongly that they will work for you, and your long distance relationship will be a testimony as well. Amen.
So let's go into number 1. Number 1 today is communicate. Like I'm sure you would have guessed that number 1, because the truth is the lifeblood of every relationship is communication. So whether it's a relationship that is not long distance or a relationship that is long distance, communication is still the lifeblood of the relationship. So in a long distance relationship, how do you ensure that you keep communicating? You don't stop communicating. You text, you message, you do video calls, you call regularly. Thank God for this generation now. During our own time,
it was just emails and expensive phone calls.
We didn't have this luxury of WhatsApp, calls, Facebook Messenger calls, Viber calls, all those things. During our own time, that was 2008, 2007, from 2007 upwards up until about 2010, 12-ish. We didn't have the luxury of the kind of availability of a plethora of options that many people have now. That won't even cost you a dime, other than if you're in Nigeria or in some developing country,
like BlackBerry pin. That made it better.
Thank God for BlackBerry. The
BlackBerry was very nice.
Give me your BlackBerry pin, your BB pin.
Well, your BB pin.
Yeah. So if you
some
you
James
use that
might
BB
not
pin,
relate. They might not be able to relate.
They will relate. 2008, 2009,
but they will not have like BlackBerry there now.
They may not be able to afford it. They will still be in primary school.
They'll still be too small.
If you use BlackBerry, let us see your hand. Mention it in the chat. Let's know how old you are. But we didn't have the luxury. Yeah. But one thing that we did at that particular time, we kept on communicating via Yahoo Messenger a lot. Emails. I remember we were sending emails every day because the kind of way we were communicating at the time, and it wasn't like anybody taught us, to the glory of God. It was just like we realized that we needed to be communicating as often as possible. So when I wake up and I do my quiet time, the moment I'm done with my quiet time, I'll send her an email about what I learned, from God, from the quiet time, share the revelation, share the insight, and I will share with her, and she gets encouraged by that as well. And then when she does her own the next day, bear in mind, I was in Singapore at the time. You were in Nigeria. So the time difference. So when I'm waking up, she's almost about to go to bed. When she's going to bed, and I'm waking up. So it was a really good. Yeah. It was not fun in terms of the stuff.
Yeah, but it worked for us.
But it worked for us in terms of email communication, in terms of Yahoo Messenger communication, in terms of some of those things like that. So if you're in a long distance relationship, you've got to keep communicating.
Yes. So prioritize that quality time. Yeah. You cannot say that you don't have time for your partner in a long distance relationship.
If I said I'm now not too old like this.
She cannot relate.
No, she can relate. That's what it is.
She can relate. Okay. Yeah, because we are feeling like we are old. Like it's like olden days.
Even if I can relate. I don't trust this. You can relate. Are you using football age?
So it's important that you keep communicating and carry each other along, because that's how you feel. Even though you are physically away from each other, you should not be emotionally disconnected. So you can still be emotionally connected by communicating often. And when we say communicate, it doesn't mean that you now start bombarding the person with calls.
People have trust issues with doing that. Where are you now?
That's a video call. Like as if you are.
It's no longer communication. Now it's oppression.
As if you are scared, you don't trust the person. Every time you want to do video call because maybe they are out there with somebody else, or calm down. When we say communicate, don't be a burden. Don't now become a burden to the other person. Try to understand each other's schedules so that you can fit in the time of when you to call, when to text, when to send emails, when to send memes, when to send all of those things. It's still part of communication.
Don't go into LDR with someone, long distance relationship with someone you can't trust anyway. Like we said at the beginning, if you have trust issues, LDR is not for you.
Yes, so
but if it's someone you can trust, then for instance, if you call them and they're not picking up the call at that time, you're not like wondering all a million things of what could be happening.
They're now cheating on me.
You just maybe they are sleeping, maybe they are in
a meeting, maybe they are just busy doing something, and they'll call you back.
Don't become monitoring spirits. Don't become.
And then they call back. How? Where are you? I called you. Calm down, sis. Calm down, bro. Like it's not that deep. If you're already having palpitations, that means that's a red flag. It means that you should not be in that relationship to start with.
Very, very important. So in terms of what to communicate about, talk about your day. As believers, talk about your quiet times, talk about your prayer times, talk about the things you learn in the scriptures, talk about what people are doing around you. It's always a good sense that you let your long distance relationship partner know what's happening around you, who you're talking to, like what's happening in church, all of those things, like your day-to-day stuff. If you're working, what's happening at work, mention names so that it can relate.
Friends,
mention names, Balaji did this to me today, Balaji said that today, or there's this boss at work that is always misbehaving. What you're trying to do is, basically what you're trying to do is you're creating a kind of a platform for continuous communication, because you're letting the person into your life, you're letting the person into what world. Is going into your world. So some people do LDR and everything is hi, how are you, good, are you good? No.
Do you have anything to say? No. Are you fine? I'm fine. Okay, we'll talk later. Bye.
That's
very boring.
That's not a relationship.
But it's like you're like, am I really in a relationship with myself or somebody? It's just weird. Yeah.
So prioritize, talking about everything and anything that you can talk about.
Yeah.
Talk about even the small things, smallest of things. I just feel this way today. I'm having a bit of a headache right now.
I'm missing you. Things like that. So at the end of the day, even though the person is away, the person feels like they're actually there with you.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea. So you're talking as if the person is right here with you and you're carrying them along.
Yeah.
That's what actually makes long distance relationship.
Have you eaten? Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like you're in a long time relationship, but it doesn't feel like you're in a long time relationship.
Yeah.
Because you are still here, you're still present with them.
Present. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when we were in our own long distance relationship, it didn't feel like we were in a long distance relationship because we could talk about anything and everything.
And if someone's with you, mention the name of the person with you. Someone has come to visit me. Someone is coming to visit me. Those kind of things like that.
Yeah, my best friend is here. You don't talk to her. You don't talk to him. Things like that. That way, you're also establishing connections with not just with yourself and the person, but with them and somebody else. Also, you're showing that you've got security. For example, if they cannot reach you, they can reach that person.
Yes,
to check
true.
up.
Because God forbid, that thing has happened before. There was a story of these two wonderful friends. Now, they were in a long distance relationship at the time. The lady was in the UK, the guy was here in New Zealand, and apparently the guy was very overwhelmed and stressed, I think, with work at that particular point in time, to the point that he literally almost almost broke down. He couldn't leave his flat. His flat for days, I think, and the lady could not reach him because she was in the UK. She could not reach him. So the lady had to call the pastors, call some of us that are close friends to him at that particular point in time. I remember it was our pastor that had to go to his house. Thank God everybody knew his house, and they knew about the relationship as well. And they had to go and knock on the door. It was Bajin knocking on the door that made him open the door. And they realized he's been at home for, I think, 3-4 days. No, he hasn't eaten. He's just been stressed and overwhelmed to the point that he got to that place where he just broke down. And luckily that lady had people she could call.
Somebody else, yes.
And guess what? She had not seen my pastor before. But it was through their communication that the guy said, this is my pastor, this is my spiritual father, this is, my mother, this is my spiritual mother. They are like my father and my mother to me here. Anytime you can call them, and all that. And luckily those were already settled before that thing happened. So if that had not been the case, guess what? That guy could die or
something terrible would have happened and nobody would be able to reach him or find out.
Very important that you also let the person into all that is going on around you. Yeah,
absolutely.
So that's the essence of communication, by the way.
Yeah.
And take photos, lots and lots of photos. Hey, this is my school. This is my, lecturer. In fact, you can even take the person in the background. See that boss that I told you that is a very wicked boss. That's him in the background. What you're trying to do is create an atmosphere of communication that will lead to consistent communication. Take videos of church.
I remember when we were dating, when we were having our own, when we were in a relationship. Yeah. We used to take pictures almost every day. I would take pictures and send to him.
Yes,
me today, I'm going to school, uni and everything. And he same thing, how I dressed to work today.
And you noticed, you just made your hair,
Yeah, things like that. It's really fun.
Keeps it good. Long distance relationship don't have to be boring.
Yeah, it shouldn't be boring.
No, it does not have to be boring. It can be so fun. Ours was fun, to the glory of God. I remember, ours was fun, and you too can make yours fun. That's what we're trying to say here. Yeah. Number 2.
Yeah, so it's important that you have schedule routines, things that you do together with each other. You wonder, what can we do together? Like we are far away from each other. You can do so. You can do a number of things together. There are things that, and technology has made things a lot easier now. Where, for example, you can decide. Today is Netflix and chill, and both of us are watching the same movie. You know where we are.
There are even technologies that can make you watch the same movie together at the same time.
Yes. Wow, I didn't know that one.
Yeah, there are apps for it now.
Yeah, so that makes your life even a lot easier. Yeah. And one of you are just but can you see that, babe? Look at that. You're talking about the movie at the same time. While you are your different locations.
Yes, so
both of you can cook together, or is cooking his dinner, you two are cooking your dinner,
you set tripod on the video call, and everybody is going on watching what's going on. Yes, you haven't added your salt, so don't forget to add salt.
And you're just gisting and laughing and exactly. making fun about it. You can play games together. We used to play games together a lot, text games. There's so many things. Would you rather do this? Would you rather do that? Those very, very fun games that could really be exciting. Absolutely.
Also, we used to fast together. I remember then once a week we would fast together, and then we'll pray together. Or even though we had time difference, but because I was ahead in terms of so when I'm breaking my fast, if she's awake, I think we'll pray together, or when she wakes up we'll pray together. But we had that, I think it was a Wednesday or something like Wednesday. That. We'll fast together, we'll pray together. Those are shared routines that keeps the oil of the relationship going and keeps the relationship lubricated like that.
Absolutely.
So you should create shared routines.
It makes it adds spice to the relationship.
You could also be reading devotional together. That's also another thing that I think, I'm not sure whether we did that one, but you can have shared devotionals together, and so in each of you can share your unique lessons, your unique revelations, your unique insights from the devotional together, and say, hey babe, what from that Joyce Meyer devotional that I read today, wow, did you hear that our story about blah 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 blah, I can relate to, or this is, and that can even spiral into some talking about some things about your relationship, your future marriage and so on and so forth. And if you're already married too,
devotionals, yes, even books, podcasts, you're listening to them together.
You can be sharing this podcast together. Have you listened to Dr. Sam and do you like the clothes that they wear today? Those kind of
yes.
I'm just trying to let you know that we wear the same kind of clothes today.
You can see, right? And you ask each other questions about it. You just have fun. That's why when you're in a long-term relationship, it's important that you are in a relationship with your friend. Someone that you can chat with, you can gist with, you can vibe with. Not someone that you feel like maybe they are too spiritual and they cannot relate to natural things.
In that case, you talk about heavenly things. Have you seen the streets of gold today?
Have you been to heaven today?
Have you been to Praise Junction and worship?
What did the angels say?
Worship Crescent.
Oh my God! So please, be
you guys will be talking King James English together.
How down today? How twist down? But anyway, back to the point. You guys need to be doing things together. You could watch series together. Heaps of things together. If you don't know, go on Google things that I can do with my long distance relationship partner. You'll find tons of things.
Number 3, also set expectations early, because one of the things that affect relationship is the fact that expectations are often unmet, or expectations are not communicated. All right, so it's important that both of you communicate your expectations. Okay, I would love that we talk every single day. I would love that we all these things, communicate your expectations. Let it be very clear that these are the things I expect, so that there will be no issues where someone is starting to feel like they can't trust the other person because they are not meeting an expectation that has not been communicated. If you have not communicated an expectation, then you can't hold the other person, to ransom, for it.
Absolutely. So set expectations very early, and because when you communicate those expectations, it provides clarity, and when there is clarity, it prevents confusion. So some of the things that you can talk about are things like, when are we going to get married? Like, our relationship is not eternity. It's not for eternity.
Don't go and be looking to get married at the marriage supper of the Lamb.
Because you can just be you can just be in a relationship for relationship's sake, and the guy or the girl is not planning to get married to you. And just be like,
next thing you just see their wedding photo online. So it's good to communicate expectations.
Exactly. When are we getting married?
Put a date to
exactly. When is this long distance relationship ending? Because you're not going to be in this forever, ever. So set expectations. Like for us, we were clear that after I finish university, that's when we will now begin to plan wedding.
And then after I finished my PhD as well. And interestingly, they both coincided at the same time. 2012 was when both of us finished. She finished her medical studies. I finished my PhD. that time as well.
Yes. So it's important that you set those expectations. What are the plans that you have for your future, for your career, for marriage,
and discuss
things
those
like
things
that.
Too.
So because that's the purpose of being in that relationship. It's defined. Both of you actually, it's defined that you are in a relationship. It's not like you are in a long distance situationship.
That's worse. That one is worse. So it's clear. It has to be defined. It has to be very clear that you're in a courtship. That's why I like Christendom. I like the kingdom of God. Things are clearly defined. This one that most people say we're just dating. No. We're in courtship, and courtship means we're preparing for marriage. We're getting ready for marriage. Doesn't mean, of course, it will lead to marriage, but it just means that both of you have similar expectations.
Yes.
And that expectation is that we are getting married.
We're headed towards marriage.
So we're preparing for marriage. We're discussing towards marriage. All that we're doing is towards marriage. So that way, the expectation is already set. The relationship is already defined, and both of you can work together in that light.
Yeah, and I think that one more thing we should highlight in terms of expectations is boundaries. Don't be scared to talk about boundaries. For example, what's the boundary that we should have with the opposite sex? Because you're not with that person. So when you are able to create those boundaries, if anybody goes beyond those or crosses the boundaries, then you can talk about it. When there are boundaries, you don't have to start making assumptions. For example, one of the boundaries that I had with my husband, my husband, at the time was when I saw him taking pictures and he's like all of these things with all these girls. Like I'm like, please. I didn't feel comfortable with that, and I communicated that to him. Like, can you not be? They're my aburos. Wait. They are not your aburos. They are girls. The aburos I know. There are only 3. Aburos means young sisters.
And they were not in New Zealand, so can you imagine?
So don't be shy to communicate how you feel, your expectations, or else you will just live in anxiety and worry, and your brain will be thinking all sorts of things about your partner. So once you set those boundaries, and both of you are able to agree on the boundaries, and if anybody then crosses the boundaries, you can then talk about it, because then I can trust him. Like, okay, I know him. We've talked about this thing, so he will not do this thing, and vice versa. So it's important.
That leads us to the next one. Exchange gifts and do surprises as often as possible. One of the things that oil the wheel of a long distance relationship is that you give each other gifts from time to time. So not just on birthdays, but randomly. You can just surprise the person by ordering something. Nowadays, thank God for all these wonderful online stores where you're not living in that country, but you could order something from an online store in that country to be delivered to that person's address. We didn't have that.
We didn't have that. Exactly. Oh my gosh. We told them. There are times that he will.
Not once, not twice. I would send things to Nigeria and she would not receive them.
I'm
talking about expensive things, though.
And if I post things to him, they could take like 2 months before he gets there. So
I posted it to you. Even the patience has one thing, and then one day you just see it.
It was not funny. His birthday is in June. I'll post it since like April. I'll buy and post it so he can get it around his birthday. That's how. But today, Amazon has made life easy for Shein, Temu.
So please be careful. Don't buy too much Temu.
But the point is, you can buy whatever anytime. They are surprised. There are even surprise companies now. Like all of these things. They make your life a lot easier. So take advantage of them. You don't have an excuse. And you can't say, "Oh, but we don't have money." What are you saying? Let me tell you something. You cannot do LDR without money.
At least.
I'm not saying you have to have like millions. No, but you have.
To be able to spend.
Yes, LDR involves sacrifice. So because you're not with that person, you have to be able to communicate your love to them intentionally in ways that they cannot see you, but they can feel you. They can see things that represent you.
They can feel your love from afar.
Exactly. So and gifts is one way. Surprising them is one way that they can feel that. So make it happen.
Yeah. So we during our own time, we had, we used to send things across, of course.
Yeah.
The oceans that divided us and all of that, and we normally do it as regularly as possible. You know, even though like we said earlier on, we don't normally get them immediately, but it was just something we love doing. And because we also send letters as well, so handwritten letters. There are some of them that I think we saw some of them. That really were pivotal to our relationship at that particular point in time. But those gifts were very precious because they were not something that you get all the time, and it takes a while. It takes a lot of sacrifice. I remember shirts. There was a time I was looking at my photos back, and I saw some shirts that you bought for me, including ties and all of those sort of things like that. Me too. I would send stuff.
I was still a student though. I'll use my pocket money to buy it
at that particular point in time. Yeah, and I remember many times I would organize surprise through our sister or through our friend. So our sister that is in Nigeria at the time, me and her we'll cook up some surprise stuff, and they will surprise her with a cake on her birthday.
My friend then.
So try to be romantic a little bit. No, so don't say it's because of long distance relationship. That's how you cannot be romantic. No,
and it shouldn't be one-sided.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be. Don't
if
say
it's one-sided. You're in a relationship with yourself.
Because some ladies think that is the guy that needs to show romance. That should be giving gifts to her. No.
Yeah.
It should be vice versa. So the way you want him to give you gifts, that's the way you should also be sending him gifts. Sending him gifts and let him be wearing the gifts or using the gifts. Like, yes, I bought that for my man. It's very, very nice.
Random text from time to time. Random gifts here and there, very, very important. You can also book things for them. I booked this for you, so that, and then take photos for me, or take videos for me. I booked a spa stuff for you. I booked what do they call manicure and pedicure. Don't be boring. Just because you're in a long distance relationship doesn't mean you have to be boring.
No.
You can be very romantic with it, and it'll be very nice. That the person will even be happy that they're in a relationship with you and not with anybody else.
Yes,
that kind of a thing. Because of how you're intentional. So if I were to sum up this tip is be intentional. Be intentional about dating and courting the person, even while you are in a long distance relationship. Very important. Our sister Olagesu was saying a difficult question. I think she's responding to that certain expectation early. She said a difficult question to ask really is, do you want to or plan to get married? I don't think it's a difficult question with somebody you are in a relationship with. Like for instance, if I'm in a courtship with somebody, I should be bold to ask them, excuse me, ma. Excuse me, sir.
What are your plans for the future?
I didn't want to get married. That one is not even difficult to. When do you want to get married?
Yes.
Let the person tell you, so that you can hold each other accountable to this when, and say your own too. So that, is there a timeline to it? Can we meet in the middle? For instance, if somebody's own is too far, and somebody's own is near, and we really love each other, let's meet in the middle somewhere. If somebody say 5 years and that person say 3 years, let's do 4. You negotiate.
No, these are things that you need to talk about if you are in a relationship. Whether you are in LDR or you're not in LDR, you've got to be able, because it's your life. You cannot be investing 2-3 years of your life and you do not know what the plan for the future is. And it happens in the world that we live in today, unfortunately. There are many people who they would have invested. They are assuming that the person was exactly 5 years has gone. But they don't come and meet you. But he has not said anything about marriage. Like,
what asking? What kind of
like, and you are still. You've got to guy. We've been together. What exactly is going on? I have plans for my life. What are your plans for the future? What are your plans for the future? Where do you see yourself at in 5 years from now? He may not see himself married in 5 years from now. You're on your own.
So you're on your own. And don't be in a relationship with someone you can't freely talk to, that you can't freely ask questions to. I've seen, especially ladies. I've seen some ladies, they are scared to ask the guy, when are we getting married? What are your plans? And they're like, if I do, I'm putting pressure on him. Put pressure.
I think sometimes some of us don't want to come across like as desperate.
Oh, desperate, okay. But you're in a courtship with somebody.
But I think sometimes it's a situationship. So they are in a relationship, but it's like it's not defined. So this person has not clearly stated that they want to marry you. You know, so it's like let's just see where we go. Let's see
how it goes. Your life is going.
So if you're in that kind of situation, you know, you don't just see 6 months, 1 year. You can't keep seeing how we go because your life is, you know, time is going. You've got to be able to. You've got to be able to ask, especially as a lady. Where do you see yourself? You know, in 2-3 years, you know, time. You know, where do you see us going? You know, what are your plans for the future? Do you have any plans for us? You know, and these are your own. It's also your life involved. So if you are seeing yourself married in 2 years' time, and the guy is seeing himself not married, not even thinking about marriage after 2-3 years, you know, then you need to reevaluate, why should I continue in this relationship or not? Because we are not on the same path. We are not going the same direction. You know, so that you don't end up wasting your time.
You cut off a relationship where you're not headed in the same direction, the better
for you. Yes.
Don't go this long road and it's been fine. It then becomes tougher to cut off. You know. So Ayolo is asking, she said, how long should it take to define a relationship? This is a very good question. And to be very sincere, right, the moment somebody is expressing their desire, intention to be in a relationship with you, there's nothing wrong in clearly saying, okay, are you asking me into courtship? Like from that moment,
what's your intention of this
what's the intention of this relationship? So we're not just doing boyfriend girlfriend relationship. You know, what's your intention? Are you looking to get married? You know, are you looking for friendship? So that you just know it's just friendship. So that I don't have any expectation. I don't have any emotional entanglement with it. I just know it's friendship. So that me too, I can, you know, if anybody come and ask me out tomorrow, you know, I'm not saying, oh, I'm in a relationship. No, I'll clearly say, no, this one is friendship.
We're just friends.
So, and you two, you're not going to get disappointed because I'm now in a relationship, because you are the one that said friendship, you know. So it's always from the very beginning, so that, you know, to avoid stories that touch, you know, with wisdom, obviously. If somebody comes to you and they start expressing and they are just liking you, in fact, that's the best time to ask them, excuse me, this one that you are just liking, you're always hanging around me, we're always discussing, please, I would like to know, what are we? Because to be very sincere, I wouldn't mind being in a relationship with you. You can even go that and say it clearly. And if the person is saying no, I'm just friendship, finished.
I think it provides you with security. As a lady, if a guy asks you out, and that's why as Christians we don't date. We always encourage, because when you're dating, there is a lot of uncertainty with dating. There's a lot of you're not clear what exactly is going on.
How many of us is it?
And there's no commitment with dating. So he's not committed to you, and you are not committed to him when you're dating. You know, so things can happen. You can date for, like Pastor Kingsley who said he had 2 friends. He had a friend. That guy dated a lady for 10 years. He dated her for 10 years. The lady left after 10 years. Not dated this other person for another 10 years. Yes. Pastor Kingsley normally says this thing. So at the end of the day, don't just date and waste away your life. You know, you've got to be clear what exactly, because in other words, that guy was not ready for marriage. Just so for us, I'll use as set of examples. When we started out as friends, right? And I remember after about 6 months, you know, then he told me that he would like us to sort of take he didn't say this exact words, but sort of take the relationship to the next level. You know, he talked about marriage, and he would like us to, you know, walk towards marriage, something like that. Right. So even though I had not met him, it was clear that we were committed to each other.
Marriage,
and that the goal was marriage. So it's important to know where exactly you are headed to, or else you'll be confused. And guess what, as a woman, if the guy is holding you down, but he's not committed to you, and you are committed to him emotionally, then you can't, if somebody else is asking your hand out, you would say no to the person, thinking that this guy is serious. But he's not serious, and then you are now losing out on other relationships or potential. Exactly. So don't be scared to put your terms and conditions also. You know, this is what I'm looking for. you're not desperate. If that person is not looking for what you're looking for, then let them be going.
You shouldn't be looking for each other.
Exactly.
Because you're not looking for what they're looking for.
Exactly. So, don't let anybody waste your time.
Some relationships start as friendship.
Yes.
And then the friendship will get close and close and close. But after it starts getting close for a while, after about 6 months, then you need to, what are we?
Yeah.
What's
where is
especially if you're the lady headed? That's where you should ask the guy. Don't feel like you're putting pressure on the person. No, ask the person clearly. It's better they tell you now that we are nothing, or we are just friends, so and then you quickly know than to allow that run for 3 years. And in those 3 years, other people are asking you out, but you are hoping that one day this person would,
open his mouth and
speak. Open his mouth. Whereas they have one babe somewhere too that they are also
just hanging around you and wasting your time.
So it's always good that is said early, because you also want someone who's also scared to lose you. If I could say that, they honor you, they respect you, they want to make sure that you are for them and they are for you. They want to, in quote, mark their territory and say yes, yes, we are in a courtship, and they are not afraid to tell the world that we are in a courtship. They can say, Samuel is my man. Blessing is my don't get into a relationship with someone who is hiding you and they say let's be doing it privately.
Yeah, it's not someone that would just mark territory and they will not say anything about that person run for your life.
Yes.
There are many guys like that. They'll be marking territory. People will say, they'll call in both of you at night.
My wife, my girlfriend.
So don't let those things get you
carried away.
Make sure that he actually tells you.
Yeah,
and he's committed to it.
Very, 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 very. This one that we have just shared right now is very, very, very important. Never marry someone who wants a relationship private. There is no good reason for anyone to keep a relationship private. Sincerely speaking.
Yeah, and when we say private, we mean like only both of you know that.
Yes, nobody else knows. No, your pastor does not know. Their parents don't know. Your parents don't know. Nobody else know. You can't even tell your mentors.
Break your heart privately. She will break your heart privately.
And the person will say, because we've been involved in a few like that. The person will say, I'm just a private person, and you are so special that only you and I are together. They will wreck your heart, only you and I. So it's always important that somebody else must know about the relationship.
It doesn't mean that you have to put it up on.
I say your mic is low.
And
I tested it.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that you have to put it up on.
It has gone a bit low. Okay. All right. Maybe we're going to go.
Can you hear me? Is it better? So it doesn't mean that you have to put it up on social media. It just means that you need to have people in your life who you can be accountable to in that relationship. That's what we're trying to say. So bear that in mind. Don't make your relationship secret.
Yeah.
Let's not be a secret relationship. Maybe secret is the word rather than private. Let's not be secret. That nobody knows about it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So not.
Is the volume okay?
Yeah. Hopefully the volume is okay. Yeah. Yeah. Better now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Next point, which is number 5. Plan visits as often as you can.
Yes.
The reason why we say as often as you can is there are long distance and there are longest distance.
long distance.
So the one we did was a long distance. Longest distance. So there's long distance of Lagos to Abuja.
Yeah, Auckland and Wellington.
Yes,
Atlanta to
Scotland and England. Those ones are still long distance.
Yeah.
But when you want to say long, that's Australia to
Nigeria.
New Zealand to United States. The kind of one that if you want to go and visit that person, you need to save up some, substantial
you can't just wake up on my leg and I'm going.
You can't just wake up and say, let me go and shock him and surprise him.
Let me take the next.
Let me tell a story. Sorry.
Yeah.
There was a lady who went to go and surprise
a
partner, and it's a long distance. So the person came from Australia all the way to Dubai to go and surprise this this young man, that they were in a relationship together. Didn't tell the young man. She just booked a hotel and booked, flights and all of that, only to get there. And of course, the man, she knows the address of the man, only to get there and realize that the man was in another relationship, and in fact, even probably living together, or maybe the lady was there at that particular point in time. She was gutted, like total money wasted. And obviously, thank God too that she discovered that before she went to go and commit her heart.
Big red flag.
But so that's that's what we are talking about here. So it's good to plan surprise.
Unexpected visits.
Unexpected visits are very, very important in a long distance relationship if you can
afford it.
On affordance.
Yeah, because it helps you to also have an idea of what the person is like in their natural state.
Yes. And if it's somebody in love with you, they will even relish that surprise. But if it's somebody that is hiding something,
they will be angry. You're like, what? How could you come out telling me?
Why can't you tell me that you're coming? I mean, who does that? But if it's somebody,
that's a red flag.
Yeah, if it's somebody who is in love with you, they don't have anything to hide. There's no skeleton in their cupboard. They will be so excited. So happy. Yeah, of course, they'll be shocked.
They would appreciate it. They'll be like, to be like a real beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because there's no skeleton in the cupboard.
If you're not the only babe, that's where you will know, because they will be angry. They will be bitter. Yeah.
To look like you just came to harm them.
Yeah.
And once that happens, see, my brother, my sister, just say thank you, Jesus, for opening my eyes.
Don't cry
just
too much.
Apologize and say I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but never again.
Cry, but just move on.
Just move on with your life.
Completely. All right, number 6. Right. And then, of course, apart from planning for visit, you can also plan holidays together. So you can, you can meet in the middle, if it's possible as well. But of course, please don't say no.
Don't sleep together. Don't together. Let's go to sleep in different hotel rooms together.
Yeah, very important too. So because we've seen people do that too, and it's not. It's risky.
Avoid saying risky.
Honor God. The Bible says marriage is honorable, the bed undefiled. So it's very important. I remember when my wife, at the time we were still dating, when she visited me in New Zealand, and she visited me for 5 weeks, 6 weeks.
Yeah, about that.
To the glory of God. My pastor, because I'm a very accountable person to the glory of God, my spiritual parents did not allow her to come to sleep in my house at all. In fact, they volunteered a room in their own flat.
Yeah, so my parents and the pastors had communicated.
They had communicated. They made sure that she's not coming to come and live with me and all of that. So she was with them. If we have to go out and just spend time together, we spend time together. Yes. Of course, because we're adults. But they would just held us accountable to ensure that we honor God in our relationship, and that's very, very important.
I don't get carried away.
Yeah, so we don't avoid stories that are taught. Next time you just say a visit has turned to
God forbid.
All right,
number 6. Stay emotionally connected. It's important that despite the distance, you stay emotionally connected to each other. And what do you mean by this? It's important that you have really honest conversations with each other. How you're feeling about the person, how you're feeling about the relationship, how you're feeling within yourself. If you're feeling frustrated, that they haven't made time to call me yet. It's like, you're feeling worried about the relationship.
Yeah, we haven't seen each other.
Yes, you're feeling upset that time is going, and it's like this thing is not really, it's like we cannot really see an end to this relationship. It's important that you talk about it. See how you can make it work. For example, I remember for us, it took about 2.5 years before we eventually saw each other for the first time face to face. So, but these were conversations we kept having. And he kept working towards how could he make it possible, and he did everything within his ability to make sure that he was able to come. So whatever is going on, it could be with regards to your family, for example. Maybe your family is not in support of that relationship, or they rather that you marry somebody else instead of this person I cannot even see. Your father is saying that you should marry this person that they can see.
We had our own fair share.
So these are conversations that you should be having, because your struggles pretty much, your temptation questions. Because it helps with transparency.
Absolutely.
It helps you to be open with them, and it helps to build trust also.
Sometimes one of the difficult things to share is your temptations, because you feel like, if I start to share my temptations, the other person may think I'm cheating or all of that. No, what we have realized is it actually helps you stay emotionally connected. There's this lady that is after me. I remember I used to share with my wife, there's this lady that's after me.
Some people will even come to the room and sit down inside on the bed. I'm like, let's not go there.
It
was deep.
There's this lady that's after me. And in fact, there was one lady that was after me at that time. Even the mom of the lady was sponsoring the lady to be after me. The mom wanted her to just, when you can tell they were using face to say, mouth to say, everything to say. Because I was in a relationship, but the person I'm in a relationship, they can't see her around me.
Yeah.
So if in their own mind, they felt like they had a better chance to win me over than the person that was in a relationship with. So they were doing all and to the glory of God helped us a little bit. We are, a good man, a good young man. So they felt like, the mom was like, this my daughter will marry this guy. It was later she told me that mom wants us to get involved. That she too wants it, obviously, but her mom was the one that said she can come and watch movie in my room. Your mom is not even afraid that you go and that something can happen. So I remember I told her then, I said, this person is coming out, and I would mention their names. I remember, right?
Yeah. So then it's not one, not two, not three. I'm like, hey,
because I was also a kind of a youth leader in church at the time as well. So you can tell, like I have all these, so
fine girls. He was with his PhD. Wonderful potential.
I'm saying I'm in a relationship, but they cannot see the person I'm in a relationship with around me. So it felt like they had a better chance.
Exactly.
I remember one of them coming to me at the time and say, "Do you even know what the person you are in courtship with? Do you know what they are doing? Yeah. Do you know what they are doing there? You better just I was like, oh God, though.
As in God, though. So there were so many girls that were really desperate, and they went all the way. When I say all the way, just imagine all the way.
Yeah.
I will not say for that.
God really helped us. So communicating this is very important. Some people think communicating this will affect trust. No, it's actually what would make that trust stronger. You are telling that person, instead of the person finding out by themselves. Maybe one day you now go and do video call, and then all of a sudden they now see a lady lying on your bed or a man lying on your bed. Then you cannot explain what's going on anymore. Or they now see somebody
or someone
knocking on your door all of a sudden. Excuse me, please.
Sorry, or someone gives them the gist. Bless you there. Someone gives them the gist that I saw one girl come to visit your partner and things like that. You start questioning yourself. You start wondering, what are they cheating on me and things like that. So when you're able to be open and transparent about all of the challenges, the issues, it will even help you as a partner to know how to pray for your partner.
Yes. And then you can hold them accountable too. You can ask them questions.
Yes. How can I help? What can make this better for us? I remember then also because I used to send him pictures, so he would now put my pictures at different parts
those
of
photos
on the wall in his room, in his room,
it around, but still
screensaver at work, So he had also he had strategies, and I also had strategies to by my bedside because I was in a hostel, university hostel. So when guys come to visit me, also, that was one of my strategies. When they just see a guy, a picture all over, I'm like, this girl, this baby. And before I knew it, like the gist has spreaded. Like, so the guys, the brothers say, stay away, stay clear.
If you're a beautiful babe and you're a handsome guy, other people too want to try their luck.
Absolutely.
They might think, maybe that your relationship is not as solid as, so they will come and try their luck. But it's important that you stay emotionally connected to your spouse. You alleviate anything that can cause trust issues to ensure that your relationship, that one that you really want, that you're working on, is the one that prevails at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
And let's last one, keep the big picture or the big vision in focus.
Absolutely.
So like we said at the beginning, we are not dating here. We are talking about courtship here.
Yeah.
The goal is marriage.
Yeah.
We talk about marriage regularly. Talk about marriage regularly. Talk about the wedding day. What would you like? What kind of clothes? What kind of days? What kind of suit? What kind of that? Talk about that one. Also talk about marriage. How many children? Where are we going to settle? You are in UK now. I'm in Nigeria. Are you seeing us settle in UK? Are you seeing us settle in Nigeria? So the other person might say this, the other person might say that, and then you can begin to make compromises, adjust your expectations, all of those sort of things. Make a plan, discuss when should we start applying for visa. Like we had all of those discussions, and that really helped. We had it to the point that we talked about how by the time we finish our wedding, we want like it was a Monday. We did wedding on Saturday. Sunday, we traveled on Monday. Sunday we Thanksgiving. Monday we're already on our plane.
Monday
to New
morning we're leaving.
Yeah, we discussed all of
everything.
Those things.
We planned everything.
We planned it to the glory of God. So you can
discuss when we want to have our children.
Yeah, but that one
career exams. So we talk,
children. When we talked about it, but
all of those things. So it's important that you keep the big picture in mind. Because that fosters, that also encourages. That
it helps the person to look forward.
So despite the challenges, when they are feeling down, I wish my partner was
like 6
here.
more months to go, 1 year to go,
2 years to go. But you keep pushing it. Mine was like 5 years to go.
But there was something to look forward to. There was something to look forward to.
That's the beauty of it.
And from the get-go, we had said we are settling in New Zealand, though, because God spoke to me about New Zealand, and she got confirmation about all the things that God was going to do with us in New Zealand, and all of those sort of things like that. So it helped. It really, really helped. So keep the big picture in mind. Don't be in a long-term relationship where there's no big picture in mind. Nobody's talking about marriage. Nobody's talking about the wedding day. Nobody's talking about what's going to happen after we get married. If you're doing that, then you're just probably in a situationship.
Yeah.
Right? One of the evidence that you are committed to each other is that big day, that big picture is consistently being talked about.
Yeah,
features and everything that you talk about. You can be in a long relationship and still talk about sex as well. Like all the normal things. All
when
the normal
planning to get married.
Yeah, all the normal communications that you go on in a normal relationship. Talk about everything. Your in-laws, your family, your days, your traumas, your all of those things. Should be absolutely talked about by the grace of God. Yeah. All right. With that, we have come to the end of today's episode. And we hope that if you are in a long-distance relationship, this has really, really, really helped you. You've picked up one or two things that you can begin to imbibe right away. Let us know in the chat if this has really been a blessing to you, if this has been educative for you and productive use of your time as well. That we believe that you can share this sort of episode with your long-distance relationship partner, and then you can begin to really take on some of the things that we've talked about. If you have any questions at all for us that we've not been able to answer today, feel free to leave it under the recording, on YouTube, and we will make our time to reply. Or you can send us a DM on our social media platform, and we can also do a video to even respond to it.
Yeah, and if you have topics in mind that you would like us to talk about, something that you're like, I'll actually know more about this. Can you please talk about it? Yes, we'll gladly do. So
we'll schedule it.
Leave it in a comment for us also. I will try to make a plan to do it.
Yeah. Once again, thank you very much for tuning in today. Let us quickly thank those who joined us live, and thank you for being so interactive and engaging today. Our very own Ifeoluwa Roshekbe, God bless you. God bless you. Thank you. Jacinta Anuka, thank you. Faisha Ami, thank you. I like when Faisha Ami is live. I pray that you have time to be live more in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Ayoluwa, thank you too for engaging so well today. Our very own sister and brother, Olagesu Alechenu and John Alechenu. God bless you, sir and ma. We appreciate you. And then we also had Oluwatosin Oshodi. Thank you. I think that's about everyone who joined us live and left a comment, because you may have joined us live and didn't leave a comment. There was no way in the world we know that you were here with us, but we thank you nonetheless for joining us. Like this video if you have not liked the video already, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Share it with somebody you know that is in a long distance relationship, all right, so that they can truly avail that long distance relationship.
Every single person
around you. Yeah, because you never know. They might be considering it. Exactly. They might be afraid of it. They might be scared of it. They might
be in it. I don't know.
They might even be in it. Like we talk about secretly and privately. So share far and wide. Put on your WhatsApp status and all of that. It could be helping somebody. God bless you. Have a lovely day wherever you are. Bye-bye.